this week on IFBB AMA Podcast. So I have a question. How did you guys first initially meet?
King and
The airport, the legendary airport incident. Come on, Milos, tell them.
Which one, in Columbus, Ohio?
Yes, when you approached me at the airport and fought with me. We had a fight in the airport.
Oh, I need to hear this story.
He came up to me, started yelling at me.
I had a knee brace.
And he was on crutches. On top of that, he was on crutches.
Wait, why were you? First off, why were you on crutches? In today's episode of AMA Podcast with Chris and Milos, we had the infamous King Kamali on. And you guys might not know, King Kamali is a very good professional bodybuilder in the late 90s, early 2000s. He was known for incredible entertaining posing routines and, of course, great condition. He's action-packed with stories. This is easily one of the most entertaining podcasts we've had in a while. Some very, very good stories. So definitely worth listening to. One of those stories was how he saved a woman's life on the way to shopping with his daughter's birthday, and somebody got in a mad car accident and he had to come to the rescue. But it's a great story. And also how Milos and King first met. It was very confrontational, and it was at an airport. That's all I'm going to say. So guys, please check it out. Milos, King, what's going on?
Hola, ¿cómo está?
Hey, it's good finally to have a King Kamali on our show. Listen, it's very few people that have a character like him. As you heard him say already, he's here to fight with me. Like, oh, gee, let's go. We don't have much time to fight, so let's go.
Yeah, man. Let me be like everybody else, Milos. Where are my UFC tickets, man? Where are my UFC tickets?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Everybody's fucking with Milos. Where are my UFC tickets?
As soon as we finish, I'm going to the Dana White Contender Series. It's the last week. This is 5 o'clock. So nice. We have an hour and a half.
Milos, are you more into bodybuilding or are you more into UFC?
UFC. I mean,
UFC.
I love it. I mean, yes, I'm bodybuilder at heart, but the only reason why I missed John Jones' fight last time was because it was Honor Classic and Samson was competing. And it breaks my heart that I missed that fight, So when they were scheduling Madison Square Garden, it was like November. So I said, please don't be the same weekend of the Olympia. And thank God it's a week later. So I'm going to be able to be there at Olympia, see Samson win, and then go to watch John Jones.
Great. Milos, what's funny is I've only met King once, and that was 2004 with my buddy and I. We went to Arnold Classic for the first time. We drove from Connecticut to Ohio. We were so excited, biggest fans of bodybuilding at that time when you're that young. And I just wanted to meet everybody, all the characters, all the top guys. And we waited in line to meet King, got his autograph. But other than that, I've never been on a podcast with King. I've never met him outside of that. I've seen you on podcasts. We used to love your routines. I remember your Arnold Classic routine was like one of the best routines that particular year. You were moving and oh my God. My buddy's like, oh my God, look at King's routine. So that's exciting. But that's where we're at, Milos.
He is a showman, that's for sure. You got to have this in you. Listen, not too many people can pull it off to look good and entertaining from start to finish. And as much at the time, I hated him. I hated King, right? And then he's doing all this goddamn dancing, but he's looking good. I told this King the other day, somebody before, confused me for him, right? And said, yeah, I sent me the picture, right? And I said, like, well, that's not me, man. And I said, God damn, I'm looking good. It was King, actually. So I got to give him a credit.
Hey, listen, I was just telling Milos the other day that on Fuad's podcast, we were considered the two prettiest bodybuilders. So,
really?
Milos, yeah, man, you and me, we're the two prettiest bodybuilders in the IFBB. So I'll take that. Thank you, Fuad. You're the best. Thank you.
Yeah, you're runner-up, man. Come on. Take your runner-up spot.
I'll take the runner-up. That's fine. That's
all
right.
So, Milos, where are you coming from right now? You just said you were visiting.
Yeah, Regan was in L.A. He trained with Andrew Jack, I guess, Saturday. And he just came last night, and this is the first time I see him in a week. And, yeah, he is taking everything seriously. I think not many people count that he's going to be a factor, and I still believe he can shock a few people, right? So that's the plan. I'm very pleased the way he looks right now.
Is he doing his 2 hours of posing now?
I highly doubt. Yeah, I highly doubt. But he's doing the cardio and he's training, and dieting with the, you know how that is, 50 carbs a day, because that's what Jay does, did back in the day. And many times, if you go on Regan's Instagram, he would put, "What would Jay do?" Right? So what would Jay do? Jay would go on 50 grams of carbs. So let's go. So he's been on 50 grams of carbs for a while now.
Good.
King, back in the day, you were on super low carbs, right?
Yeah, the formula that Chad had given me is very simple. I still use that same formula on 75% of my clients today, which is high carb will be around 150 to 200 grams. Base will be around 100 grams, and low carbs, 50 grams and lower. Yeah, absolutely.
So high carb would be just 150, 200?
150, 200. That's it. But that was just for me and my metabolism, and Jay and Ronnie and his, because Chad worked with metabolism, it's just like you probably do, and I do with my clients. Once I figure out what their metabolic rate is, then we can switch it around. But in general, yes, 50 grams was the low carbs for me. But I also believe in cheat meals. See, Chad would rather me go and bump up my carbs, and I would tell him, I said, Chad, that doesn't work to 100% efficiency with my body. If I go and eat 2 large pizzas, the next day I look like I can walk. I mean, I just blow up and get veiny and all that stuff. So for me, it was cheat meals. For most people, yes, 150 to 200 grams of carbs.
So what was low? 3 days low, 1 high?
Again, the base program would be 2 high, 1 low. But then when the closer we got to the show, we'd sometimes, like, he'll lose his mind and he'll say, okay, let's go 3 days. And then 3 days low, and then we'll boost it up in the high. And then we worked around that. Something like that.
And 2 pizzas is a cheat.
You know my appetite, Milos. You know my appetite. Yeah, it's gotten worse as I'm getting older. It's getting worse. So I have to control it even more. I have a thing where, I swear to God, what I do now is, every time I start to lose my mind, I just go chug a big container of egg whites. I just go chug, and then I'll chug one of these right behind it. I'm like, okay, I'll be all right for about 45 minutes. So I don't have to think about food.
Wow, you still have that kind of appetite?
I still have it, man. I still fucking have
it. King, did you ever have appetite issues in the off season ever, in your peak?
No, I didn't. And that was the first time. And I thought that, this was normal until I went and guest posed with Nasser, rest in peace. Nasser didn't eat. And I was like, what? How is it possible for this giant mutant of a human being to not eat? And I was like, but it was a lesson for me that I learned that every individual is different. Mine, I was a different type, and this was, because I would see backstage, my legendary story backstage is, and Milos will laugh with this. This is the first time I seen Dexter backstage, and he was eating Taco Bell. And this was at my first Olympia. I'm like, what the fuck am I doing wrong? Am I doing something wrong? And then I went to Chad, and Chad's like, no, that's just Dexter. You can't look at Dexter. He can get away with that. That works for him. I was like, all right, so I'm learning.
I think Dexter never dieted at all until the last show.
I agree. I totally agree.
And last show that he tried to eat clean. He actually, for the first time, he didn't look as good.
Milos, who's that bodybuilder, black guy? He won Team Universe, got his pro card. He did a couple pro shows. He did all right. He won, then he disappeared. He's peeled all the time, like striated glutes 2 weeks out. I can't think of his name. And he was on an interview, and they go, how did you come in? Because when he won his first pro show, he goes, how did you
first pro show?
What's that?
He won his first pro show?
He won his first pro show, maybe 5 years ago. And then he disappeared, hasn't competed since. Mike Lockett.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah. And they go, hey, how did you come in like this? Like, you came in so much bigger and fuller. He goes, my coach just told me to stop dieting the last 3 days. And I say Burger King, French toast sticks, and just all this stuff. And it just exploded because he walks around with striated glutes like all the time.
when you're like this, I mean, even as far as King, right? You had a great success. It worked for you. It probably works for many of your clients. It just for me and Chris, when we talk about, there's no justification that I can say pizza nutrition and whatever junk food nutrition is going to do more to your body than the same amount of calories from a good nutrition. So instead of fat from here, fat from peanut butter, from avocado, from steak, from eggs, from whatever, these carbs from a good carbs. But and you didn't deal with inflammation. Many guys that eat clean, 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 and then try to eat junk, boom, bloated stomach, inflamed, and now you're dealing with the other, water retention and all this kind of stuff. But
but you also agree that it's also experimentation. You agree with that?
It is.
So 6 weeks out, 5 weeks out, 4 weeks out, what I do with my clients is I was like, okay, let's try this. How did you look hour after? How did you look 2 hours after? How did you look before you go to bed? What did you look like when you first woke up in the morning? I take that and I'm like, okay, so let's hot dogs didn't work. Let's try something else next time. Okay, let's try a gyro. Did that work? Oh, the gyro worked? Okay, put that in your folder. Let's keep that and put it and let's try something else. We do that. I do that all the way until I find it. And I'm telling you, I've noticed. Yes, I agree with you, Milos. It's with your way. That way that you're thinking is a lot more scientific, technical, and safe. Yes, it is. But when you do some experimentation, sometimes something just works for somebody, man. And don't forget the mental aspect too. Okay, I've had to deal with that a lot. I'm sure you have too. When you tell somebody to do something and they just fight you. Like, I mean, they will fight you to the death until they see the results. So that also has a little bit to do with it too. The mental.
Are you wearing a T. Michael? You wearing a T. Michael T-shirt?
Yes, I am.
What the hell? That's like 25 years old minimum.
These kids don't know shit about T. Michael, man. This is our stuff, man.
Yeah,
hey, let me tell you something, Milos. If Max Muscle was still open today in California, man, I'll be their number one customer, man. Number one customer. These kids don't understand.
So I have a question. How did you guys first initially meet?
King and
the airport, the legendary airport incident. Come on, Milos, tell them.
Which one, in Columbus, Ohio?
Yes, when you approached me at the airport and fought with me. We had a fight in the airport.
Oh, I need to hear this story.
Yeah,
he came up to me, started yelling at me.
I had a knee brace.
And he was on crutches. On top of that, he was on crutches.
Wait, why were you? First off, why were you on crutches? And what was this about?
I had I blew up my knee, right, and I had to wear it, So I had 2 times the surgery. Patella tendon exploded, and then the way they fixed it, I was supposed to do all this stretching and rehab and all that stuff, but the sutures were pulling my knee in the wrong position, so it was actually getting worse. So I had to do the second surgery, and that was. Shortly, I think Anno Classic, whichever year, and I don't know. I had, King and I were fighting about something. I don't even remember what. King was perfect, to go under the skin, to many guys like Melvin or Dennis James, right?
And in wrestling terms, I'm the perfect heel. Just say heel, and everybody understands. There you
go. And those were my guys, right? So, and I don't even know. What was I chasing you for? I don't remember.
You were angry because you were upset that I was talking. You were saying to be more respectful. That's what you said. Yeah, you said you're being disrespectful to people. What's the matter with you? This and that. And we're in a shitty little restaurant at the airport. You're on your crutches. People are staring at us. And I'm sitting here thinking to myself, I just competed. What am I supposed to say? I have pictures of this guy in my locker room in high school. I used to look at Milos, idolize Milos, and he's yelling at me now. So then I'm like, I think I called you sir, and that's when you kind of cracked a smile and you looked at me. And I said, listen, man, I'm just playing the game. If Melvin's talking shit to me, I'm going to talk shit back. If Craig is going to threaten my life, I'm going to threaten his life back. I'm giving back what they give me. That's all. Don't get mad at me.
Yeah,
My
but listen,
God.
you were perfect at it. You know, when I think about it, you know, in UFC, you have all these bad boys. They're just talking, but they're actually super nice guys. You know, like Covington. You know, if you listen to him talk, you would think like he's such a bad guy, but actually he's a super good guy. So everything is about the show. You knew how to get the attention of everybody, and you were it everywhere. Getbig.com, bodybuilding.com. Anywhere you turn, it's King Kamali. You know, and then he topped it off with a perfect conditioning and with the charisma, with that fucking posing routine that I hated it, but it's like, God damn. I have to find it. I'm going to
Well,
actually.
listen. Also, you have to understand that I was taking a lot of I was taking a lot of direction from Chad too, and then Chad kept saying to me, "You're doing the right thing. Just keep doing what you're doing. Any publicity is good publicity." That's what he kept pounding in my head, and so I kept pushing it. But you have to also realize, man, that was it was a part of my personality because I was just talking to Chris about this. So many people had told me you won't, you can't, forget about it, that it was just embedded in me to fight back. So that's why when all that stuff came out. And Chad said one thing to me that stuck with me from forever. And that was conditioning will always pull you through. Always. He goes, as long as you have that nasty IFBB Pro conditioning, they will give you a look and you will have you'll become the people's champ. So just have that conditioning and pull it through. That's why I kept saying, okay, if I'm not up there muscularity wise, at least I can pull it through with my conditioning. And that's what I did the first year at the Ironman Arnold, especially at the Olympia.
Yeah, but Ironman, with those lights, you look fucking crazy. I'll give
Those
you that.
lights, man.
Is that the posing routine? I found a couple posing routines.
Yeah. Oh, if you can find that Ironman but you see, conditioning with the size, you had that, crazy back and crazy shoulders and, deep abs and the hamstring fucking,
dude.
You knew how to play it.
I was having fun, man. I was having fun.
I just posted him and Craig from Australia when they were battling on Instagram.
I got a lot of DMs for that too. Thank you.
Yeah. Tony asked me to send him, to promote it.
Yeah, I was flat as a pancake for the 2002 Olympia. Good old days. With blonde highlights in my hair. What the fuck was I thinking?
That was the style back then, though.
Kamali last year was seemingly heavier than this. He's a lot leaner this year, but last year he seemed to be a bit larger. He's definitely got a body weight. I think he tried to come in a little tighter last year, but he seems to have lost a little fullness this upper body. He's definitely tighter and sharper, but I see he's a little bit flat, right?
Oh, what a great song.
When you're comparing yourself to guys like Kevin Levrone and freaks like that, you gotta have the fullness. Yeah. That's what people have to understand. We're criticizing the most talented and unbelievable physiques in the world. Coach Asher, very nitpicky there. It's tough criticism. Yes. I mean, you have to judge these guys while they look for nice. Sure. He's really getting these people going too. They love it.
King, do you miss competing?
No.
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 Do you miss feeling young?
I still feel. I say on a scale of 1 to 10, I still feel like I'm about an 8. I still feel that.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah, I still take care of myself, man. I totally take care of myself.
Which is the Ironman routine? Ironman routine or Ironman comparisons?
Yeah, the Ironman posing King Kamali. The one in the red trunks right there. That's with the funky background. That's the nouveau lighting.
Lock and load. All.
Oh, I remember this. Milos, this is highly entertaining.
Yeah, but listen, he's keeping abs in control. And I've seen so many guys that are trying to pull this off, and then the stomach is all over the place, right? So, look at things. Glue your stomach to your spine, deep abs, breathing through his back. You can't see shit. Legs separated. So this makes sense. But how many people can pull that off?
No, because that takes a lot of practice, and people don't want to do that anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll be honest.
And
with
that's
you guys,
also
like,
because the reason why I used to go to Fairfax Hackley, man. I used to go to
Show
people
the
who would
world
yell at me.
what you're all
It
about.
was mean.
this is great. Did you choreograph this all yourself?
Yeah, I went to Body Rock Productions. They did my music for me, and then I just sat back and just thought of what I wanted to do on stage. I never really practiced my posing routine.
That's actually. Did you know how to dance to begin with?
He has to. Come
Yeah,
on.
that was easy. This stuff came easy to me. This
Really?
is just showmanship and getting up there, and yeah, this was the easy part for me.
Being able
For
to
me, the
move-
hard part was the not being able to eat.
See, I'm the opposite. When it comes to like putting together something like that, that would be like pulling teeth. Dieting on 0 carbs for 8 weeks, I can do that.
Yeah, no, for me it was the
It's
food, man. I was
To get
just not being
nasty.
able to eat. I mean, I could diet hard and I could suffer and all that stuff, but for not being able to eat, that was what was killing me more than anything else. 'Cause I wanted to eat.
It's highly entertaining. I don't see posing routines, unfortunately,
Crazy back.
on the
Huh?
entertainment side. Remember, like back in the day, we had quite a few of you doing who's that Marcus guy? Is it Marcus Healy? Am I saying that right?
Yeah, there's two categories, Chris. There was entertainers and there was posers.
Yeah.
Milos was a poser. Leela Brada was a poser. We were Melvin and myself. I mean, Melvin he had a lot more poses in there too, but I think that was more because of John Brown and Milos.
Yeah.
If you let Melvin do his thing, he would be out there pop locking the whole time. But we were the entertainers, so it was like, okay, I would love to do that stuff, but I just not my personality. My personality was this. Melvin's personality was to be a pop locker. Milos, I mean, if there's one man, if I ever said the theme to Gladiator, I guarantee you 99.9% of every bodybuilder on this planet would say, "Oh, that's Milos."
Yeah.
He took it and he stamped it. That's Milos. You know,
Yeah.
so
Right.
it was fun for me. But to go back to the question that you asked me, do I miss it? No, I don't. I have some regrets, but I don't miss it.
And okay, that's a good question. What regrets?
Married the wrong woman.
Hey,
I thought it's going to be retaining to bodybuilding.
Hey,
Pertaining to
King,
bodybuilding.
King.
That's what I'm talking about. It's because of that coincides with almost everything that happened to my life immediate afterwards. I made the wrong decision. Now, I have 2 beautiful kids and I love them, and I would never, change anything because of that. That's what's given to me from, the best gift ever. But I am 100%. This might sound cocky and this might sound like I'm being old King Kamali again, but I'm 100,000% sure if I had a person who would have backed me up in my sport, would have backed me up in bodybuilding, I would have been at least once or twice Arnold Classic champion and top 5 Olympia a few years. I would have gotten to that level. I just had the wrong person in my life that gave me too much stress, that put me through hell, sucked the soul out of my soul, if that's possible. Okay.
I'm
And
assuming she did not like bodybuilding.
it's not that. It's just it was not having the support.
Yeah.
Okay, not having that back. When you're with someone, if you're down, they're supposed to pick you back up, not kick you more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Not
So that's what I mean.
Yeah.
I mean, I left Virginia. I had my whole life and my whole stability and my friends, my structure, everything in Virginia. I left all of that. I even left my dog. Okay. I left everything to come to New York and start all over again for her. Okay. And because of that, and everyone always says, King, you were here and then you went here and then you came back for the Night of Champions and you went down and then you came back again in Australia. I'm like, yeah, what does that tell you? That was here. It was all I was jacked up. One time I was good. Then I was okay. Then it's a little bit better. Then I had a child and I was a little bit better. Then, I mean, it was like this. That was my life through marriage. That's why if Muhammad, Jesus, Buddha, Ali, Hussein, and every other god known to man comes down and says, get married again, I would say, fuck off. No way. Not a chance in hell.
King, you're complaining about one marriage. I had 5 wrong ones.
Fuck.
So would I also be a Arnold Classic champion and top 5 Olympia? I think so. You know, for the same reasons as you said. You know, we pick the ones that if they can hurt you, embarrass you, cheat on you, steal from you, try to kill you. You know, we were not interested in a good woman. But can I tell that story? I mean, King came to my gym.
What story? Yes, of course.
Can I tell that story? Okay, so King.
I have nothing to hide.
That's funny, or sad. I don't know. It depends how you look at it. So, he was saying, and then he said, "Hey, can I use your computer?" I said, "Sure." So he goes there. I had like 4 desks, and everybody's computer there, and I see King on the computer, and it's damn. So what is it? So I came to him and said, so he put the software, SpectraSoft, on his wife's laptop, so he could see everything that she was doing, and then he saw what he didn't supposed to see it. I don't know if you remember that conversation when I came to you, like, man, how can you go through life and not trusting? So like, yeah, I trust and see what happens. And then, King told me, why don't you try yourself? I said, no. But then as soon as King left, I said, what was it? SpectraSoft? Okay. so I installed on all computers in my gym. Holy shit, what I saw. Oh my God. So that's that one thing.
So let me time out, put a disclaimer here too.
Wait, what is this software?
This was also okay, hold on. That's old news. We're talking about what? We're talking about almost 15, 16.
Yeah, that's
okay. There's different shit now. There's much more advanced stuff right now that you can get than that stuff before. Now, there's a whole story behind that leads up to that. It's not just one day I did that. So there was things that built up to that. There was investigators that were giving me advice. So there was a whole thing involved. But in general, the consensus is yes, you can do that. You can put it, but it wasn't her computer. It was a different pathway that I went, which makes it legal. Because not in every state you can't do that. That's an illegal thing to do, to bug people's, computers and stuff like that. So that's a whole different thing. But it's not like I saw something that was let's just say it wasn't the worst thing in the world. It was just hints. Okay, it was just hints of seeing what's going on. And for me, that's all I needed to see, because I had given up my whole life, my whole world, my whole career, everything for this woman. To have her put doubts in my brain, I'm not too sure about. I never talk politics with anybody, but loyalty goes a long way, man.
Yeah.
If you gotta be, if there's no loyalty and there's no trust there, it's gone, it's dead. I remember going to I'll end it with this. I remember going to a therapist, a major high-end celebrity therapist in Manhattan, getting paid $5 bones per session. I mean, one of those tops. And after 3 sessions, this therapist gave me my check back. Back in the day when we used to write checks. That's how long it was. Checks, yeah. Gave me my check back. And she said, she's gone. Let her go. That's what I needed. So it was worth it at the end. It was worth it at the end. But each one of those, and I'm sure Milos would attest to this, each one of those painful little scars makes you stronger, makes you stronger, and makes you stronger. Because right now, I'm fucking kryptonite, bro. Nothing can penetrate this. Nothing can hurt this. And if I see one negative thing, and I got this from Dexter, because I always see Dexter's always happy. He's never mad. I'm like, Dexter, well, don't you get like hate mail and stuff? He goes, dog, I just delete ban. Dog, I don't even read it. And I do the same exact thing. As soon as I see one negative thing, that's the best thing about Instagram. Ban.
Ban. Delete it. Blocked.
Get out of here. See ya. Peace. Get out of here.
I have more blocked people than I have.
I'm the same way, bro. I immediately block them and they're gone forever. They can't do shit.
What is the point of going into this negativity, really?
Dude, it goes to show how much they don't have going on in life.
And I'm sure that, King, you did it too, like back in the getbig.com days and all this stuff. Somebody, writes something about you and then you want to defend yourself. And then the jerk offs are just teasing you and they're saying shit just to get you to respond. And I would go back and forth. It's like I take it personal, and then I realize, you just delete. So
it hurts. This is something that I've learned through all my experience, and all you kids out there that are watching, you want to learn from two Jedi masters here. And I'm telling you this right now. Okay, Yoda is speaking right now. All right, you want to hurt somebody, you want to make them go crazy, you ignore them. That drives a human being more insane than anything else in the world. Just ignore them, because then they don't matter. It's like they're lint. They don't even matter. So instead of getting pissed off and getting mad, I mean, I get it all the time, bro. I get it. I say one negative thing about Hadi, and I get 6,000 death letters and death notes from Iranians that want to do a fatah against me and do a holy war because I said their holy man Hadi has problems here. So you know what I do? I ban them. Block, 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 block. See ya. I'm out of here. You don't like me, don't listen to me. Fuck off.
It's like people are searching for a reaction. You don't get a reaction, it drives them crazy.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But King, I have a question for you. Now, what is the story with the whole saving the woman in the car flipped over? I remember reading that in Flex magazine years ago, but it doesn't maybe not cover the full story, but I'd like to hear from your words what that was all about.
It was my daughter's birthday, and I went to her and I said, "What do you want?" She said, "Take me on a shopping spree." So I said, "You got it." We hopped in my car, with just me and her. We went to the outlets in New York. It's nice upstate. We're almost there. We make the turn. It was a Bear Mountain. After we passed Bear Mountain, it's almost like you're driving through the mountainous woods. We came to this one corner, and then suddenly I see all the cars stopping. And then right above the third car in front of me, I see a whole bunch of smoke. So I'm like, oh, man, looks like something just happened. And it had just happened. I mean, literally that second it had just happened. So we go, and I see cars are pulling to the side. And it was one car was smashed in the middle of the road, and one car was an SUV, midsize SUV, upside down, halfway in the woods, halfway on the street, in the highway. So I'm pulling to the forward, and I'm like, because nobody was doing anything. Everybody was just standing around like this and screaming, and I see. Yeah. So I'm like, something just told me to stop. So I stopped, and I said, my daughter's name is Rio. I said, "Rio, just stay here. I'll be right back." And she goes, "Where are you going?" I said, "I got to go. I have to see what's going on because something's telling me to go." So I hopped out. I went there. And as I'm walking up, and I'm seeing nobody's doing anything, I went straight to the driver's side. It was upside down. And I looked down, and I saw 3 fingers over here cut off. And I saw it was a African American woman and her husband, older couple. And she had, when the car flipped, the window was open. So she went to like this, like anybody would. It's a natural reaction to stop yourself. So when she went like this and the car flipped over, the car landed on her hand, and it amputated half her hand. So now she's sitting here and upside down. Her husband is coughing up blood. She's completely mangled. I mean, her leg looks like a jelly through her jeans. And I'm just like, okay. So I grab her and I'm like, "Are you okay?" And she's in complete shock. Complete shock. Now, her hand is still there, like this, under it. And I'm looking down at her. And then I turn around and I'm like, "Can anybody else come here and fucking help me? Go around and see if he's okay." Then 2 people run around on that side. And she starts to like go into like I don't know, it's hard to explain. It's almost like she's swallowing, and she started doing this. I'm like, okay, she's going into serious shock. So I'm like, what can I do? So I'm trying to pull the door off, and it's not coming off. So then I look around. I'm like, okay, this is what God, he made me lift weights all these years. He made me get strong. So this is what I need to do. So I Hulk smash, ripped the fucking door off the hinge, threw it in the woods, and I saw that her hand was caught under the car. And I tried to move it in the woods. So long story short, I put my shoulder under where the wheel is, like this, and I grabbed it. And I told the guy, I said, "I'm going to lift the car, pull her arm out." He goes, "What the fuck are you talking about?" I said, "Just pull her arm out when I say go." And I gave it everything I had. And I'm telling you, if you've never been in a situation like that, you hear stories about having superhuman strength and stuff. It's just adrenaline. That's basically what it comes down to. and you're so pumped up and psyched up. Like I've had that before in the gym when I've gone to like 500-pound front squats back in the day, and I remember that feeling of getting you feel like you're about to jump out of an airplane. I know that psychic feeling, that's that adrenaline. I had that same feeling. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna take advantage of it, and I just lifted the car just as much as I could to get that arm out. So they got her arm out. I dropped it again. And that's when they came. And then when the paramedics came, I just grabbed the paramedic and I said, left arm, right leg. And he goes, okay. And that's it. And then when they pulled her out, I don't even want to describe the gore that I was seeing and stuff like that. But that's the story.
That's unbelievable.
Yeah,
I never knew that. Wow. You just filled my heart. Oh, my God.
Yeah, it was crazy, man. It's to see something like that. And my daughter was videotaping it. So she had her phone and she was like, and she didn't get the everything because she was just like, and she goes, I got it on tape. She goes, how did you do that? I'm like, what? She goes, how did you lift that car like that? I said, I don't know. And then the craziest part is afterwards, I still took her shopping. I still took her and got her presents. We still went to the outlets, and there was some people at the outlets, and they were like, are you that guy we just heard about on the radio? And I was like, yeah, that's me. That was it.
Well, she's never going to forget that birthday.
Yeah. It was crazy. It's it puts you into perspective when you see something like that. I mean, you watch movies, and I don't think every one of us has seen real nasty stuff on the internet, some gore and stuff like that. But when you see it real life, bro, man, it changes you.
Yeah,
I just got the goosebumps, man. I'll never forget this story now that I heard, and I'm so proud of you, man. Wow,
appreciate it.
They say bodybuilding's not functional. Clearly not.
I have, you know what? Bodybuilding is incredibly functional because any one of us, all three of us will attest to this. People are afraid to test you when you have muscles. So it's gotten me out of many different binds and many different, I've gotten to a point now where I think all three of us will attest to this. Alcohol and bars and muscles don't mix.
Oh,
that's why I don't go out anymore.
Terrible.
That's why I don't go. I don't do that because whenever someone sees someone who looks like us, we get tested. And I don't want to go through that ever. No, I'm done. I'm done with that. I don't play those games no more.
Oh. But you know what's funny about that?
In the bar twice in my life.
Wait, you said you've never been drunk twice in your life?
No, not drunk. But I haven't been to a bar.
Oh.
Why would I? No, but I wouldn't go to the bar. What is my business to be in a bar? People drinking alcohol, being drunk, talking to you nonsense.
It's crazy. King, not the first time, but I never just to drink. And my best friend's a big avid drinker. And he's like, bro, come out with me, man. I'm like, fine. I'll go out with him. Within 10 minutes, people bumping into me. Dude, you got a problem? I'm like, excuse me? What the hell?
Because they want to test you because they think that you got muscles, but you can't fight. They don't know what you're capable of doing. They don't know if you have any jujitsu. You don't know if you're one of those psychos who will just poke his eyes out. I've seen, I have friends. I'm not going to mention their names, but they don't care. They would gouge your eye out. Why would you mess with someone like that? Yeah. I don't want to go and get my eyes poked out. It's just like, to me, it doesn't make any sense.
Well,
are you serious?
Oh yeah, they'll bite your nose off. They'll bite your ear off.
That I heard. Because there was a guy in San Diego, and he says actually there was a bikers group. I don't know which one, and that's how they mark you. If you cross some of those, they're gonna bite your nose off, and then you're gonna be scarred for life.
Yeah, I know people like that.
You know what's really funny though, and I'm sure you guys obviously know this. The people who really know how to fight are never the ones that are trying to start a fight.
Yeah, of course. Martial arts.
It's like,
not for that reason.
This is a great story. There's this dude in my gym, and he was a amateur boxer, Golden Gloves a couple times, very big, very loud. And there's another African-American dude, quiet as a church mouse. And I know they both grew up together, and I know they both boxed together. And then my friend comes over to me. He goes, you know that quiet dude over there, that quiet African-American guy? And he goes, yeah. And the bigger dude who just gets in street fights all the time, has got a history of boxing, knows how to fight. He goes, that dude beat him so bad in the ring. He goes, he was pissing blood for like a month. And I go, that quiet dude? He goes, that quiet dude who never looks you in the eyes, who's always yes, sir, no, sir, he will destroy people. And I'm like, no way. He's like, yeah, man, multiple championships in boxing and multiple divisions. I'm like, wow. Never would have thought.
I got a story for you guys. I got a story for you that's going to make Milos laugh so hard his testicles will explode. I'm telling you right now. It happened just 2 months ago. 2 months ago it happened. I'm going to say the calm version of it. I was dating a girl who was separated. Okay? She wasn't divorced yet. She was separated. All right? And I went to a restaurant. I went to a restaurant. This is about 2 months ago. I went to a restaurant. Now, I give her all the credit in the world. She's a 10. She's the type of girl that will walk into a room and men and women will look at her and say, holy shit. So she's that hot. A little, but hot. So I went to this restaurant with my cousin and my brother-in-law. So it was me and my cousin and my brother-in-law. And we're sitting down, and very exquisite Mediterranean restaurant, very nice. Everybody's dressed up. I got my Hugo Boss outfit on. We're eating, and I see some people coming in, and we're sitting up on the like a elevated seating area, and there's a railing right here, and we're eating. And next thing I know, this guy comes over, and there's two of them, one smaller, skinny, one bigger guy, and he comes and stands right here, and he puts his hands on the railing like this, and he goes, King Kamali? King Kamali? And I look over at him and I'm thinking, might be a fan. Happens to me once in a while still. I'm like, yeah, so I'm sorry, do I know you? And he looks around the restaurant and with loud, he goes, it's King Kamali. Hey everybody, it's King Kamali, the King Kong. Look at King Kong. And then now I'm doing this exactly like this. And I look over at my brother-in-law. Mind you, my brother-in-law, he's an animal Italian mongoloid juice head monster himself, and my cousin who is a gangster. He's one of those guy will gouge your eyes out type guys. And my cousin goes, who is this dickhead? I said, I don't know, man. And I look at this guy again, and he's sweating profusely. And his forearms are soaked. He's got hairy forearms and he's soaked and he's grinding his teeth. And I'm looking at him and I was like, okay, I have to calm the situation down. Next thing you know, he starts making monkey noises. Ooh, ooh, he starts going like this and walking around in circles, making monkey noises. At this point, my cousin's standing up and he's got a 9mm in his back. So he starts doing this. My brother-in-law grabs me and he goes, this guy's fucking crazy. He goes, are you sure you don't know him? And I look at his face a little bit more and I said, oh my God, this might be the husband. This might be the husband of the woman that I'm dating who happens to be separated. Yeah. So we get up. Management comes, half the restaurant standing up, women are screaming, the cocktail waitress comes over, this and that. My cousin's about to fucking put a bullet in his head. And I calm everybody down and I said to him, I said, listen, man, I said, she wasn't that good anyway. I'm sorry. You can have her. She wasn't that good anyway.
I had better.
And then everything from that point, the management grabs this. And then I'm like, I said, this, and I turned around to my cousin and I said, you know what? Lesson learned. He goes, what now, Kamali? What now? I said, I got to stop dating fucking married women. Stop dating married
So it was him.
End of story. He got kicked out. Yeah, it was him. Yep. And what happened is when we walked in, one of his buddies recognized me and called him immediately. And he just drove right over. Now, the best part was not the monkey noises, not the fact that he got there and he was sweating and all that stuff. He was wearing baseball batting gloves that I didn't even notice until the very end. So he premeditated it. So if anything would have happened, I could have destroyed this freaking man's life. Who puts on batting gloves to come to a restaurant, man? Come on. This is my life. King Kamali champion. Another chapter I'm
Yeah,
going to add to my biography when I write it.
yeah. It should. It would be a bestseller.
It's going to be just as entertaining as those
No, I
routines.
thought it is maybe somebody that I know, but it's just a husband,
That it's funny. You're like, oh, it's a fan. Oh,
Listen, man, like I'm telling you, the monkey noises was the best. He started doing this and making woo 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 monkey noises in the middle of a restaurant. Who lives a life like that? I do. That
I
shit
do.
happens to me all
Were
the
you
time.
like shocked, or were you kind of laughing? Like, dude, are you serious? Like, what are you doing?
Well,
Yeah.
here's the thing.
Is that
This
girl
is
on
the
your
part of me
Instagram?
that nobody really knows. Okay, I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why I can explain that. Not too many people, only the closest people to me understand this side of my personality. I always look at it from both point of view. What if I walked in and I saw the guy who's banging my wife? I would lose it too. So I
It's
gave him as much
separated
credit
life.
and space as I could. Yeah, so I said to myself, this guy is seeing me, and all he sees is rage of me having his wife. So that's why I stayed calm and I remained calm. But I was more worried about what my cousin was going to do. My brother-in-law is a crazy Italian. He's fine, but I can control him. I can't control my cousin. He'll fucking crucify. He'll blow his head off right there. So that's what I was more worried about. Lesson learned.
What
Yeah.
a good story.
Maybe that's a topic you can discuss openly on the on the podcast, live podcast.
Whenever I go Instagram live, I always tell people, you ask me about anything. I've seen it all, been there. And Chris, I could tell you stories about Seattle that will blow your mind. I could tell you stories about Denver that will blow your mind. I could tell you stories about Barcelona that will blow your mind. I've seen some crazy ass shit. And I could drop names, which I'm not. I promised these guys I would never do. And if I write a book, I will use fake names. But I've seen some of my peers do the craziest things too, man. Crazy.
Well, you should write that book. You get a ghostwriter and just verbally say it. They write it
I
down.
have one.
Oh, you do.
I have
you do.
one. She's a very Oh yeah. She's a talented writer out of Long Island, and she's also gorgeous. But yeah, I
You
know
know how
that.
to take them, right? Yes. But King, you did just the other day a video on your YouTube channel about peaking, right? Because I just seen it a couple of days ago that there was some link. What do you do? You have a YouTube channel,
Yeah, I just launched my YouTube channel, and my first episode came up, episode 1, which is the last 7 days before the show. Last 7 days of contest prep. So I gave it, you know what, Milos, you and I both know it's the last 7 days that makes all the fucking difference in the world.
Yeah,
okay.
of course.
Everybody has their own philosophy. Everybody does his own thing. George does his own thing. Hani does his own thing. Milos does his own thing. Mine is very old school suffering. That's what it comes down to. Suffer. Nobody likes to suffer anymore.
No, everybody's trying to do everything to make everything easier.
Yeah, I'm gonna look up that video. So I'm sure there's
It's what
good instructions we can use.
YouTube, right?
Yeah, it's at the real King Kamali.
At the real King Kamali.
Chris, I want you right now to go down this way. We're going this way. I want you to go this way, and let's harass the shit out of Milos right now about Samson. I want to know about Samson.
Yeah, look, you
Milos,
know.
tell him how many times I text you. Tell him how many times I text you. Tell him how many times I'm pushing.
Yes, he's pushing, and I appreciate it. It's just Samson appreciates it. The only thing is he doesn't want to put any updates. I watch him. I'm going to watch him tonight, like around midnight. My time is 8:00 his time. So then we check, like he's posing like 2-3 times a week. It was 2 nights, going to probably be 3. He is in way better condition now than he's ever been. So that's very promising. Back improved. Yeah. I understand that maybe back shots he might lose to Derek. Derek is fucking unbelievable. Back double biceps, that V-taper, lat spread, all that stuff. But hey, there are many other poses that you need to have. Hadi is reigning champion 2019, 20, 21, 22. He was showing up always in incredible condition. I think that Hadi is going to come in the craziest condition of his lifetime because he feel threatened. So it's going to be a great show. But as far as Samson, if you tell, Samson, just go dry, go condition. Every time when I started that conversation, actually, I could see that he was annoyed because, of course, we all know what he needs to bring. So he says, Milos, don't tell me that, water is wet, grass is green, sky is blue, and I need to be conditioned, So he needs to be better conditioned than Arnold Classic with the similar size and improved back. And he's going to be super hard to beat. But anyway, just King, to make sure you understand, Samson is in position that he knows. He's one of the kind that has a size and shape and height and width and aesthetics and round muscle bellies and balanced physique and everything else. And to think that he can be losing to some of those guys would be conditioning. So conditioning, he was told by Manians, of course, that he needs to be in Olympia condition. And of course, that's our plan.
My point is this, Milos. Okay, I love you, and I never blow smoke up your ass. I always send you positive, and I always, I'm gonna tell Chris. I always say to Milos, I always text him the main word I text him is dry. Bring him in dry. Bring him in dry. Bring him in dry. And I'm sure Milos hears it 6,000 times a day from 600 different people a day. And I have a spy. I got a friend of mine who lives down in Florida who checks on all these, blogs and all these message boards and all that stuff. And he told me that he goes, everybody's giving Milos a hard time. They're like, you're going to bring Samson into full. We know you. And Milos is like, no, I'm not. He's going to be but. My point is this. I break it down realistically, like I was a judge. And when I sit here and I look, now everyone's saying Derek. Okay, yes, he improved. Yes, he's going to look better on stage. But he's still not going to have, he's still going to be close to what he was last year, maybe a little bit better. That's how bodybuilding works. Every year we expect mutants from Mars to show up that's going to be, oh my God, no. And every year they all walk out and they look a little bit better or a little bit worse. That's how bodybuilding is. You can't transform. It doesn't work like that. I think, in my opinion, I've said this to you before, it's going to be a close battle. I think too many people are sleeping on Brandon. Nobody's talking about Brandon, and I think he's going to sneak up on a lot of fucking people. Yeah. He's going to sneak up on people because I was just watching the prejudging today, last year's Olympia prejudging. Brandon was there. Brandon was pushing. He's right teeter-tottering right there. So people are that. What you call it? Derek is the poster boy for what everyone says. He's the political, what they want, the white guy. Okay, I get it. And he's going to be improved. Samson is going to look like he's going to be the XXX factor on that stage. Just like you said, the height, the shape, the muscle, the size. He has everything to take it. Okay. And then you have the champ. Hadi, we all know, is going to have 1990s conditioning. Who knows if he's going to. Now, if he tries to come in a little bit bigger, I don't know what Hadi's trying to do with him. If you come bigger, you sacrifice conditioning. We all know that. You come in bigger, you will sacrifice a little bit of conditioning. And Hadi will sacrifice this. Now, he's got some little problems. We all know it. If I mention it right now, I'm going to get 6,000 death notes from everybody around the world saying, oh, you're shining a light on something. No, so I'm not even going to say what those faults are. I think we all know what his problems are, and he's going to have to deal with it under those lights. So let's put that aside too. And then we have Nick, who I love. I think he's great for the sport. I think he is Branch Warren 2.0. I love Nick Walker. I think he's great for the sport. Freaky, blah, 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 blah. Yes. And then we have the Andrews, the Hunters, and all that stuff. And then your boy too. I'm sorry, his name, the guy that you just saw.
Regan Grimes.
Regan, yes, I'm sorry. So then we got the Regans and all that. Okay, yeah. So we have all that. I think it's going to be very, very interesting, very, very close. But in my opinion, and I'll say it right now, and I'll say it 1,000 times to anybody who asks me in the gym every day, what do you think? I think Samson, if he comes in 100%, he can walk away with this. I think he can do it. He's just going to be too imposing on that stage.
It's
too imposing.
Yeah. He's Lee Haney with a little bit extra height and weight.
This
Right.
is it.
Yeah. Oh, that's
Yeah, this is it right here.
All right, for all you viewers, check this out.
So yeah, King was known for crazy conditioning. So I highly advise you. For some of you guys that never competed, take instructions 101 day by day. I'm sure last 7 days you probably got the great details. I'm going to watch it tonight. But Chris, I don't know if you've seen that episode when I was after the Arnold Classic. I was talking to Jay Cutler, and then I said the words which I actually get from King Kamali that I didn't even realize what it's going to sound like in a live TV, right? So I said, like, oh yeah, I'm getting all these messages, for suck him dry. Suck him dry, suck him dry. and that's King Kamali telling me this, right? Before, and I know what when I said it, Jay goes like, that doesn't sound too good. That's King. He would just text me a message, suck him dry.
Well, I mean, look at the terminology we use on a regular basis.
Pun intended.
Look at that guy. It's so vascular. He's super hard. Like what the hell?
No, the reason, and let the truth be known. We're talking openly here. The three of us were, especially Milos and I. We always tell the truth, whether it's going to hurt your feelings or not. Milos is known for fullness. He's known for bringing in people in full. How does he bring in people full? Milos' philosophy on training. I trained with him. I went to an off-season week with him one time in California. And it's all about loading glycogen, filling the muscles at the right exact time. You want to hit that insulin spike. I mean, when you listen to Milos and he explains everything to you, you're like, okay, we got Tesla is speaking. We got to take notes. Okay, it's Nikola Tesla of bodybuilding is speaking. We got to take notes because Milos is talking. Okay, yes, I totally get it. My whole point is right now it's all a full game. Hadi threw a curveball in there. He's bringing 90s conditioning. That's why it's throwing everybody off. So now everybody's thinking, that's like whenever we had to compete and we knew Dexter was in. If Dexter was in the show, God damn it, we got to come in crispy. We got to come in crispy because we know Dexter's going to be in the show. Hadi's put that in there too now. So we have to do it. That's just not a Hadi thing. I'm going to take a little thunder away from Hadi Chupan a little bit. It's a Persian thing. Iranian bodybuilders suffer. They understand suffering because they've lived in an oppressed a situation where to them this shit is easy. Like when I went over there, I was like, wow, to them it's bodybuilding is not tough. I have one of my really, really good friends. I call her my little sister. Her name is Amanda Burnett. She's a wellness pro. She's going to be at the Olympia. She's competing. She's qualified. She used to be a triathlete. Bodybuilding is easy for her. She doesn't get it. She's like, I don't understand what's all the suffering and what's all. She goes, this is not that difficult. I'm like, that's because you're a triathlete, Amanda. That's why, because you're used to suffering, unbelievable suffering. This is like mild suffering. Those guys, and Milos knows this, they in Iran, they suffer. They know how to suffer. That's why they bring that crazy ass conditioning. Hadi was always conditioned. I actually, even though I don't like him as a person, I like him. I give him all the credit in the world. He's an amazing bodybuilder. He's Mr. Olympia, yes. But his suffering comes from his culture. There's many.
Something's up with the
audio's getting weird. There you go.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I keep getting a phone call from the same person over and over.
Oh, gotcha.
Again.
Yeah. Is this the separated woman?
No, this is believe it or not, this is my ex-wife calling me right now.
Speaking of
That's my ex-wife. But yeah, it comes from the sun. There's many hotties. And which goes up to the thing that I should mention, and Milos is going to talk about this much better than me. Behruz should be at the Olympia. It's so fucked up that he's not going to be able to be at the Olympia. It just doesn't make sense to me, man.
I still hope
he should be.
Yeah, he should be there. Yeah. And Chris, Behruz Tabani, unbelievable, beautiful, symmetrical, aesthetic, everything, crazy condition like Hadi. Qualified for a second time. he still didn't get an answer from American Embassy for last year application, and he cannot apply again until this was solved, denied or approved. And it's like time is ticking, and we were like, 16 weeks out and 10 weeks out and 5 weeks out. It was like, oh, somebody help. And the help is still not coming. So I just hope, he would be invited. But King Kamali was talking about this years ago, how many incredible bodybuilders are from Iran. I mean, we can put 20 of them on Olympia stage, and you would see an incredible lineup.
Hadi coming about and making it over here will change that.
Especially in the 212 division. There's so many Iranians. They could be top 4 or 5 in the Olympia and the 212. I'm telling you, they're that fucking good. They're great, man.
King, it was awesome having you, man. I really appreciate you coming on here. I was like talking to Milos the other day. I'm like, Milos, who's like great to have on, to be entertaining, good to talk to? And he's like, King. And I'm like, I don't really know King to reach out to.
I love Milos, man.
We'll do this again. Maybe a post-Olympia wrap-up or something.
Yeah, that would be good.
That will be fun. That will be great. And as I said to you, Chris, you probably now I have a book full of stories that I could tell. A book full of stories I could tell. And
good.
Milos is one of my best. I look up to him. He saved my life in Turkey. We're gonna not talk about that, but
next time.
I love Milos. Yeah, next time.
That'll be a good story for next time. But King, I really appreciate your time, man.
King.
Okay, brother. Milos, love you, man. Chris, thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
All right.
Hey, thanks for watching and supporting the channel. If you want us to continue to make great content, please hit the like button below and also subscribe. And did you also know we have an official website, IFBBAMA.org, where you can check out a lot of all these episodes with deleted scenes, especially ones we cannot show on YouTube or any other platform. Comment below if you have any questions or suggestions on how to make this show better. Please, we would love to hear your feedback. Thanks again for watching IFBB AMA Podcast. We will see you guys next time.